So what are buyers and sellers really doing right now? Let's take a look at the trends over the last couple months.
The National Association of Realtors has put out these graphs that show us the February seller traffic index that is typical for what we see with the spring transition. Typically, we'll have a weak amount of inventory, particularly here in California, and then as things warm up into March and April, we'll have even more properties come on the market. Moving to the next slide, March seller traffic indicates a lot of weak seller traffic across the country. Now, we remember that in March, the middle of March, all of the states went on a stay-at-home orders, and for most states, real estate was considered non-essential. Toward the end of the month, many of the states and the governors declared that real estate was an essential industry because they realized people still need housing. So the February and March seller traffic are exactly what we would expect to see based on the new orders with shelter in place.
Now, what about showings, specifically in California? We were able to pull up a graph from Showing Time that is the main source for scheduling showings for buyers and sellers. As you can see, the blue line is the 2019 weekly average of showings from January through the end of April, and it was very robust. This year, the orange line, or the gold line, shows that there's a marked drop-off in about mid-March, which was about the same time that the shelter-in-place orders were put in effect. But you'll also see by the end of March, it started picking up, and we're actually seeing more and more showings, which indicates there's very strong buyer activity. What's specifically about the buyer traffic index? If you'll see nationwide that it's very strong throughout most of the country, with some areas being more stable, and that's California and Nevada, which is fairly typical for California to begin with. But the important thing to keep in mind is that showings are up. California is a very stable in terms of buyer traffic index, and so now is really the time for sellers to consider selling, because there's definitely a pent-up demand for homes on the market.
So if you've had any thoughts of selling in 2020 or 2021, give us a call. We'd be happy to set up a consultation appointment and talk about your specific needs and goals and help move you forward. Take care.